Hello everyone, welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena playing Quick Draft Crimson Vow, and first picking Olivia's Attendance is like quite good. I mean, there's other good cards here like Egg and Thirst for Discovery and Socialite, plenty of stuff I'd be happy to take, Wolf Strike. But there's no way I'm passing Olivia's Attendance first pick. Bride's Gown, awful. Into the Night, awful. Infestation Expert, not bad. Heron of Hope, not bad. Nurturing Presence, okay. Minister's fine. I mean, none of this is like screaming to me that I have to take it. It can't be right to take Evolving Wilds, right? There's just no way. Like there's better cards here. I just don't know if I like Infestation Expert, right? I think I was probably supposed to take that. That way I'm like, these two cards don't go well together, but if I wound up in red green, I would be happy to have Olivia's Attendance. It's just she is not classically a red green card. She's a red black card, but she's still insane. And of the cards in this pack, I think Infestation Expert is clearly best, right? Clearly? I don't know. Infestation Expert. It's like fine. What else would even be better? Maybe Minister, but I don't think Minister goes nearly as well with Olivia's Attendance as Infestation. How is the Heron, by the way? Fine. Alright, I'm gonna take the Infestation Expert. Now we have some stuff in red, some stuff in green. I mean, these are all decent cards, or at least the first few are. I don't want anything from the bottom. Well, Scorpion's not bad. But like Lantern Bearer, Outcast is probably playable. A 4-mana 5/4 fits well in the red-green deck. Sorry, yeah, 4 mana. It says 6. It's 2 less. And it does a lot at night. I think I'm going to take it. I mean, these are fine. They're both good. But this fits well with the cards I have so far. And it's also, like, got a lot of upside. I guess just take the Scab? Obviously, I don't have blue-black right now, but this pack makes me worry that blue-black may be the place to be. I suppose I could take the Apprentice Sharpshooter as just like... Oh, no, it's not a werewolf. There's a card that's like this that's a werewolf, but I think it's in Midnight Hunt. Right? Is that true? Can I look in set Midnight mana green mana value greater than or equal to 3? I think it's exactly 4. Type creature, type werewolf. Type, let's say human. No, werewolf. Yeah, Bird Admirer is a 3 mana 1/4 reach. And at night, it's a 3/5 for each. That's the card I was thinking of. It's not this. And since we're not playing Midnight Hunt, we will not draft that other card. But this pack just, I don't know. I mean, I guess Courier Bat could be, well, okay. Maybe Innocent Traveler is, like... Skullscab is a better card than Innocent Traveler, but Innocent Traveler could be fine. I mean, it is fine. And it's a little bit less work to get a single color than to get 2. Although we have seen a fair amount of blue around, so maybe, Skullscab's lane could be open. Nobody's taken Skullscab in the first 3 picks, which is pretty weird, right? There must have been some really good stuff in this pack. But If I wind up in like red-black, which seems a little bit more likely than blue-black, then Innocent Traveler is going to be, it's going to be better in red-black than blue-black. Or than Skull Scab is. I'm going to take the Traveler. Crawling Infestation is not good. None of this is good? I guess it's Edgar's Awakening or Wedding Invitation. I'll take Edgar's Awakening. Honeymoon Hearse. I don't think that fits well in any of the like red-green stuff I have already, or the black. So I think I'm just taking a Gluttonous Guest, a perfectly lovely card. And maybe we're giving up on the green stuff. We'll see. Pretty good blue stuff going around still. Ragged Recluse, I guess. It's that or Snarling Wolf to keep the red-green dream alive. But Ragged Recluse works fine in red-black because you have so much blood that you can trigger it pretty easily, and then it's like a 2-mana 3/3 that with upside. I mean, red-black is the strongest color combo in this set, I think. Or it has the best rares anyway, which often win games. So I don't mind that I'm being pushed in that direction. I'll take a Courier Bat. I don't even have a lot of red yet, right? It's just like black. Yeah. The Socialite's fine. Heirloom, I guess? In case I want 3 colors or more. Mulch. No, I don't think so. Right? No? I guess if we wind up with a really top-heavy deck, or with many colors, we might value Mulch a little, but I just don't think it's very good. Give me a decent card. Millipede also not very good, and it looks like I might not be in green anyway. Winged Portent. It likes green-blue. Oh, yeah, not gonna work for me. What the hell is this pack? Okay, there's a couple good cards in it at the end. No good rares or uncommons for me, sadly, and I don't really think any of these are worth like switching colors for. So the Recluse is fine, the Celebrant is fine. I think the Gluttonous Guest is the way to go, though. These are okay, but we don't seem to be necessarily in green, maybe? That still remains to be seen. An Innocent Traveler again? It's pretty expensive. I could use some cheaper stuff. But, like, what would I take? I think the whole red-green thing is basically dead. I'm just getting past all the black cards there are. And we'll play black plus something. I mean, I do have 2 kind of playable blue cards, but all of my black stuff is like vampires. It's vampires and blood, and it's not exploit and zombies. I don't think we want Vampire's Kiss in a deck with a bunch of blood generation already. It's probably just a Flame Blessed Bolt. Although, Flourishing Hunter is definitely a good green card, and I don't know. I think we want smaller stuff for now. Falconwrath Celebrants, a little heavy, but especially if we're cutting the green stuff, we suddenly have, and also, by the way, this is like a 1-mana card. We have, we could run a 5-drop. The Blood Fountain is the other possible choice here. Everything else is pretty bad. Blood Fountain to recur some of these things would be cool, but I think I'd rather have the Falcon Rat Celebrants. Oh, give me that. Pick 5. Okay, so no one else is playing both red and black, which is nice to hear. The rest of the set sucks. Magma Pummeler is okay, but there's so many good cards in this pack. I mean, the Scavenger is just, like, good. But maybe another Socialite is the way to go. The Gluttonous Guest is also fine. Even an Epicure, not horrible, right? It's a 1-drop. I want to take the Socialite, but I probably shouldn't, right? I should aim towards cheaper stuff because I have, like, so many heavy cards already. Like, my 1 and 2 slots are really awful. Just give me an Epicure so I can maybe, like, live in the early game. I don't know about that. Maybe just take a Scavenger as, like, but it costs 4. This thing is, like, a way to kind of stabilize in the early game. Play this down, and then whatever stuff they were attacking me with is no longer attacking me. And also I gain some life. But it comes down so late that against like a really aggro deck, it's going to be too little, I think. But an Epicure is also not very good at all in this deck, I think. Like, yes, it's a vampire, hooray. But if we're just overflowing with blood anyway, right? That's the main advantage this guy gets, is that, like, for 2 mana, you get to play a 1/1 and, like, cycle a card. And so if you're already able to cycle, if the blood from this doesn't matter, which I think much of the game, or much of the time it won't, I think this is just not a very good card. It's a 1-mana 1/1 with, like, no particular effect. So I don't think I want that. I could just take another Gluttonous Guest, more life gain, more big blocking. Seems like kind of reasonable. Okay. Boarded Windows is actually, like, I think it's bad, but it does sort of appeal a little bit. I don't think that's gonna happen. We'll take an Epicure. And a Ragged Recluse again, totally fine. Blech. Scattered Thoughts. Nothing? I don't know, in case I end up in green somehow. And then another? If I end up in white, this is the card I'd rather have, I guess. I'm not taking End the Festivities. It's just such a bad card. There's no way I'm, like, putting blue in, right? And even if I did, this wouldn't be that amazing a card. I'll take this so I can have some on color. Like, if I have to give up and put in some bad cards, at least I don't have to add another color. What the hell are you? Chandra, 3 mana. +1 is gain mana and deal 1 damage to the opponent, or exile a card, you may be able to play it. Okay, I mean, it's like, it's good. It's not, like, insane, as Planeswalkers often are, I think. She really likes you to run red cards. Okay, fine. What else is there? Markov Retribution might be good. Bleed Dry is probably the best. I mean, Chandra is a Planeswalker. She's fine. She does face damage. If you're lucky, you can draw, but you have to give up on the face damage to have a shot at drawing. I think Bleed Dry is the way to go. What does it think of Chandra here? It says Chandra is quite good. Bleed Dry, it says, is a little bit worse, but I think in this deck, Bleed Dry is better. This would be for a more, like, you know, in red-white, for example, you might like this a bit more. And our deck is a lot more black than red, and she helps a lot more with red. So I'm just going to take Bleed Dry. Solid removal. Well, Markov Retribution, is that better? It could be removal that also buffs your creatures so you can attack. That's the possible upside, right? The downside is if you don't have the right creatures to kill something, then like you can't kill it. And also, it's a sorcery, whereas Bleed Dry is an instance. You could play it in response to them using, like, Wolf Strike or something, right? I think we just take the Bleed Dry. Plus, it exiles. Oh, Parasitic Grasp, sure. Give me more removal, please. Okay. I mean, the Fountain, the Impulse, and the Ragged Recluse are all okay. Because we do have a lot of blood generators, right? I have one Epicure. I have a Harvester. I have 3 Gluttonous Guests, a Socialite, Celebrants, and Olivia's Attendants. So I think this is still going to transform pretty often. But the Blood Fountain is also quite reasonable as like another way to dig back up Olivia or whatever. I already have the Courier Bat as one way to do it. It would be nice. Oh, and Edgar. Okay, maybe the Blood Fountain is not really necessary. Yeah, let's just take another 2-drop. And a Courier Bat looks great. Sure Strike is also fine, but I have a lot of life gain in this deck. Mostly it's just the 3 Gluttonous Guests, I guess. Nothing else gains any life. No, that's not true. The Ragged Recluses, if you can, they gain life as well. So the Courier Bat should be insane. Okay, another Courier Bat then, right? Yeah, I don't really want a Hypnotist. Don't really want any of this. I guess the Dissenter would be my favorite among them. Sure Strike is okay. Well, we're not likely to get to 23 playables in this pack. I mean, we could. There could be some good red or black cards left. And, like, I can put in stuff like Weary Prisoner. It won't be a disaster. But I'm wondering if I could, like... Okay, or I could put in, like, Doom Dissenter, etc. But I'm wondering, is there some way I could, like, run green and get these kind of good green cards? You know, the Wolfkin Outcast and the Infestation Expert? I think the answer is no. Because if I wanted to do that, maybe I could take the Honored Heirloom or something instead of Weary Prisoner. But I guess I'll just take another Prisoner. Lacerate Flesh, I don't... It's big removal. Big-ish. But a lot of the mana that you spend on this is in exchange for the blood tokens. I don't know. I guess I'll pick it. I don't like it. Aim for the head just to like get them to... I don't know. It's not very good. In Midnight Hunt, wasn't there a card that was something like this? But instead of exiling a zombie, it makes a zombie in addition to making them discard? What is that card? S mid mana black mana value 3 type sorcery type instant. Oh, I typed the set wrong. Yeah, it's a sorcery. No way out. Target opponent discards 2 cards, and you make a 2/2 black zombie with Decayed. So it's like this, but less flexible, but more powerful. So, I don't know. I mean, this does make them exile it, which is nice. I mean, I guess I'll take it over, like... I don't have anything for the Gargantua to really sacrifice. I'll just take this, and maybe it gets value somehow. Okay, we got the Blood Fountain back. That's fine. I don't think it's exactly necessary. It might even be the best cut here. Because I have so many Courier Bats. I don't think I need more value from the Blood Fountain. Yeah. The other thing I could do is I could try running the Heirloom if I thought that I need, like, ramp. Get over here. I don't think I really do. I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of long-term value with, like, Courier Bat and stuff, right? And I'm not a big fan of Aim for the Head. So I could just toss in an Heirloom to make it easier to play the stuff I get back with Courier Bat, or get to Attendance faster. Yeah. Right, I have 3 Courier Bats and Edgar. I think Blood Fountain is crazy. But I also don't like Aim for the Head, and I don't know what else to put in. End the Festivities could work against, like, you know, to bring me back against some aggro thing, I guess, but it doesn't seem very likely. I don't have any, like, way to get value out of the Specimen, right? There's, like, okay, yes, you can keep playing it. That's value eventually, but I don't have anything like wants it. Yeah. Lacerate Flesh is also a ton of blood tokens. In some sense, like, having extra blood tokens is not that bad because of Gluttonous Guest. You know, if I have like 2 or 3 of those down, I can gain a ton of life, but I'm going to draw through the bottom of my deck before I kill them if I don't have some game plan. I guess my game plan is like Courier Bats and Olivia to kill everything. No, and then, okay, I have a lot of flying damage. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I need Aim for the Head. I think I'd rather just have an Heirloom. Make it easier to play more of my value. I'm not, like, in love with that card or anything. But it should do more, like, I don't know. Let's actually stop and... Nope, never mind. I was going to hit cancel, but I was drinking water, so I didn't have a hand to hit escape with in time. Maybe, because, like, the Heirloom is only good in the early game, mostly. I don't know. It could be good fairly late. But I was thinking, it's better in the early game because you can use it to ramp to your powerful cards, but it's also fine in the late game because it'll let me play, like, my multiples of my large cards together, which is a thing I will want to do with all my, like, Courier Bats and stuff, right? Okay. And No Way Out is kind of the same, right? It's good in the early game because you can get them to... Ooh, Suitor and Heirloom, that's an interesting choice. Not that they chose to put those there, but it's interesting. What will they choose to play, I wonder. The Suitor's a human, isn't it? No, it's a vampire, of course. I thought it might be a vampire only when it transformed, but that doesn't really make sense. So I can't actually kill it with Parasitic Grasp. I guess I just discard the Celebrants. Because I might be able to fish them back up later, and I want to flip my Ragged Recluses. Well, they just block. What am I doing? I guess I run this out, attack with everything, and have Sure Strike if they try blocking. No blocks, okay. Cool with me. Now they get to transform this. I don't know. Maybe I should have left something back so they couldn't attack comfortably, but I don't think they want to attack with 2 creatures. Seems very dangerous to do that. Lacerate this and swing for 9? Okay. Good work, Recluses. And indeed, it was right to discard the Celebrants, because I never even found a 5th land. Oh no, hang on. We were gonna cancel. We were gonna look at whether. Just think a little bit more about swapping the Heirloom for Aim for the Head. I still think I like the Heirloom better, but I do want to think about it for a moment. Because, like, okay, this last game we drew the Heirloom at a time when both Aim for the Head and Heirloom were good. And, I mean, Heirloom was better this game, so that's something. And I think it's better in general. Yeah. I have plenty of ways to spend mana. Give me an Heirloom. And there's nothing in any colors that I particularly want to splash, even though I'm running an Heirloom, which would make it a little bit easier to splash. I could run, like, Scattered Thoughts or something. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Okay, who's the opponent here? Xantus? That's a T, right? Yeah. Xantus. This can't play anything till turn 4. I'm on the draw. I could hope to get something good. And I do have a nice mana base. And a good 4-drop. This is such a stupid keep. I don't think I should do this, but I hate mulliganing. I'm a bad player. So sue me. Okay, opponent's down to 6. Okay, picked up a 3-drop. That's an improvement already. Opponent's playing white and what? What the hell? I can't even say what the heck. I like swallowed my whole tongue. Third planes, no plays. What deck could this be? White blue? No, white green. What does white green do here? Oh man, they do like tokens and small humans and shit. They must be really mad. They had, I see, they had to keep a mulligan with no forests, and they drew a bunch of green cards and just hoped it would work out. I see. I guess I could have attacked first and bluffed some damage. Bluffed a combat trick. I actually had a combat trick, actually. Yeah, I think I could have gotten in 1 damage there. I thought it would be nice to have a blocker, but of course I already have one, so... I don't know. I don't want to risk blocking with my 3/3, though. Okay. Fine. It's not fine. I really liked this creature. It exiles, right? Oh, the worst. I mean, I think I'm just playing the Celebrants, right? And this time I will get my attack for 1 in. Oh no. Okay, this is a slower green-white deck, I guess. And it's going well for them. Do I play this? I guess. Is there some reason? Yeah. No, I don't think there's any reason to do it pre-combat. Sure Strike is so good when you have menace creatures. I can kill either one of them, right? Yeah. Do I care which? I think they did well to block like this. I guess I'd rather kill their 2/3 because it gains mana, and this thing getting bigger on their turn I don't care so much about. We're obviously hanging on to this to blood tokens. 5 mana is plenty for now. But I think that the way they blocked suggests to me maybe I shouldn't have attacked with the 1/4 at all. Because now I've lost my threat of Sure Strike on the Celebrants, which is a way bigger threat. If they play like a second creature here, I won't really be able to attack with anything anymore. Yeah. It's only creatures, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, I can gain a bunch of life. I think you put it on, like... Yeah, that makes makes sense. Anything but the 4/4. Okay, a Vampire Bat is interesting. Because I can attack with the Celebrants now, see what they trade with. I don't attack with the 1/4s because I have no combat tricks and I don't want them to die. But the 4/4 should be able to do something. And then I can bring it back with Courier Bat. This thing threatens to get big more easily. Maybe I actually kill it. I don't know. End the Festivities would be a pretty good card right now. Alas. Yeah, I guess. Just kill the 3/3. They don't... actually, they have enough mana that I think they're going to be able to activate this pretty much forever. So this is effectively a 4/4 right now. Yeah, let's go that one. Oh, I guess I could bring it back with Edgar as well. And then I could play it if I wanted to play my extra planes, but I don't really want to. I want to get rid of this and use Courier Bat to bring it back. Great. It's a mana I don't need, and I can use it now on Blood. Decent card, but I don't want it right now. And getting a flyer means they can't train this by attacking with both. I think they're going to buff the cavalry. Or the rider, whatever. And they'll let me get in for 2 next turn, but then after that, they'll have to block. They'll be able to block. I don't know. Maybe they want to build this up to be big enough that they can block the Celebrants I'm going to play more easily. I think that's probably wrong. Yeah, put it on the Griff Rider. And then that also stops me attacking with my 1/4s. Yeah, put it on the flyer. Lacerate Flesh is pretty solid, I think. Just kill the 3/2 and swing with everything. What do they have in hand? Something they could react with? Maybe a Fierce Retribution, but they have 6 mana, so it's not like not attacking keeps my stuff alive anyway. Oh, just exile. Sure, that's what they, of course. And then dump a land? No. So they have a spell. And they just drew a land. So they have a spell and 1 unknown card. Oh, come on. You couldn't just kill it? Yuck. Okay, that kind of sucks. Alright, get out of 4/4, see what we can do with that. I still don't want to throw this or play this. It's useful ammunition for my blood tokens. Eventually I'll draw Olivia's Attendants and then I'll want a 6th land, but I don't want more than 6. Okay, that's your 3rd imprisonment. I can't bring back any of my stuff because you're not killing any of it. I could play a land to get both of these down now. I think that's fine. I want a 6th land eventually, and at this moment it's actually useful to play it. Now, do they want to flip their thing? I would imagine not, but they might not have a choice. Okay, they found another creature. Unlucky. Oh, but they're flipping it anyway. Oh no, this one put a counter on. Wait, what? Oh, no, this guy got buffed. Just because that's what it does. Okay, they want to stop gaining counters, they want a 3/6, and they want vigilance for their 7/7. Makes sense. Although I could kill it. Okay. Parasitic Grasp on the flyer is pretty cool. I think? No. I can attack with the 3/3s. They have easy-looking blocks for that, but I have Parasitic Grasp to kill one of the things they block with. And if they're, like, if we assume they're taking the 3/3s on the 3/6 and the 6/6, then I can attack with 2 1/4s and get in some damage as well. And kill their 6/6. I lose one of these, but I get to kill the 6/6, and then I bring it... I lose both of these, but I get to bring one back. I guess this is fine. This is fine. Oh no, the way I tapped does matter. I forgot. I keep forgetting you have to pay for this. I should have tapped red instead of black for the blood token. Now I can't replay this yet. Oh yeah, I can. I drew a land. Okay, I'd rather not play the land, but okay, fine. Since I made this mistake, I guess I will. I don't know, maybe it was better to kill their vigilant thing? I don't think so. Yeah, because now this can't train anymore as well, which is nice. Ugh, this card sucks. I mean, it's a great card, but I need something better, and I have a lot of blood to fish with. Sold? Am I attacking with anything? No, right? I could bluff attacks with my 1/4s? But if they double block... Yeah, I think they would double block. Because even if the bluff is, like, real... Man, it's such a blunder to have played... I don't know. To have played another one of these land... I tapped wrong and had to play a land, and now I've drawn one fewer card. Huge mistake. Well, if I attacked with the 3/3, I could get in with a 1/4 as well. I could do 2 damage, but I don't want to do that. Exile the flyer, I think? Okay. I don't think it super matters. Oh, wow. What? When a human you control dies, draw a card. When something with counters dies... Oh, it gains flying! What the hell? I forgot that part. It's a good thing I gained like 20 life this game. More, I think. Yes, bleed dry. That's what I'm looking for. Bleed dry the vigilance? I think so. And it doesn't even die. Oh, I guess also it doesn't meet any delayed duress triggers. Is there any reason to attack first? No, I think that would just let them take less damage. I could have exiled the other one, I guess, and then they wouldn't gain life or draw a card. But it's a pretty good board that we have, I think. Maybe? I should have thought about it some more. Because, like, what good is a 3/6 Vigilant if it's not making anything else Vigilant or flying? Yeah, I think that was a mistake. I should have killed the flyer. Yeah, because then I could have gotten into 5 damage as well. Yeah, big mistake. I mean, I was in a strong position, and indeed I did win, but it was definitely the wrong play. Mono black, huh? On the draw, I'm going to keep it. I just need a 3rd land, and the hand is fine. A 4th land would be great. Haha, very funny. A red card. Okay, I mean, a 1/1 flyer, and flyers in general, are a thing we can deal with by just playing enough, gaining enough life, basically. Red, blue. Really need that land now. Huh. You gonna play another one? No. Oh no. This is too many flyers for me. Get the hell out of here, buddy. It's unfortunate to not have drawn a land by now. You know, odds are we would have, but we're not dead yet. Okay, that's pretty bad. I think we're getting pretty close to dead. I could discard this to get my Epicure back. But of course it doesn't help because I can't empty my hand, and I would just have to discard the Epicure next turn. Okay, I mean... Oh yeah, that's gonna be lights out, huh? Now that it's night as well. Opponent's just like in a time trial here. How fast can you kill an opponent who doesn't do anything? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, let's... I don't know, man. This is the worst. Let's just see. Let's just see. How fast can they kill me? Like 2 spells would do it. two non... I did it! A land! Sadly, I am dead to anything, but I'm not dead to nothing. Alright, that'll do. Why syncopate for one? I guess just one is fine, sure. I thought they had syncopated for 3, but no, this was left over from their turn. Well, good game, and also oops. I made a mistake by not drawing any lands. Black Knight. That's a really old Magic card. I mean, also it could be not related to Magic at all, but I think that was the first card where they tried out the concept that later became protection from X. Black Knight had protection from white, I think. Let's look that up on Scryfall. Black Knight. Yes, Black Knight. It costs BB. It's a 2/2 with first strike and protection from white. But it wasn't worded that way at the time, of course. I don't really want to use my blood token yet. I still need my lands, so I'm just going to shoot this thing, attack, and play it crummy little creature and hope to make it better eventually. So how was it worded in like the first printing? Can I see that? The wording on stuff was so crazy back then. I did it all get errata to just the original, to the modern wording? I guess it did. I guess I need a fourth land, sort of. But I also want to flip this guy. I guess I just won't do that, though. Gonna play this out, grasp him, and swing. Keeping the more flexible removal for later, of course. Bleeding Dry, that one. That is weird as hell. Why not the other one? Oh, I guess it... I don't know. Weird. Okay, well, let's see if I have any cool answers to that. Nope. I don't want to Sure Strike for 3 face damage, do I? No. I guess I'm just gonna play this. I mean, I will get more blood tokens eventually, but I don't have them now. And like, if I drew another land next turn, I might want to play both of these. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna bleed that dry, am I? I guess I am. I want more damage. But playing this is silly, because there's no way I'm gonna... Maybe even playing the last one was, because there's no way I would need to play Bleed Dry and Sure Strike on the same turn, because I could Bleed Dry on their turn. Okay, I'm gonna look for lethal here. Lethal has been found. Alright, weird game. I just played like 2 creatures and removed 3 creatures, and that was it. I mean, they didn't curve out well enough is the answer, right? So what was the original wording on Black Knight? MTG Black Knight original wording. I love looking at the wording on original cards. Like really old cards before they figured out what anything was. Show me the printed version, please, not the Oracle text. No, I clicked and it like on the Google search results the preview was some no, I'm wrong. Like they didn't have First Strike or Protection From at the time, I think. So it couldn't. Okay, anyway, it is a good hand, or it's okay anyway. It couldn't have been worded the way it's worded today. What do I look for? Errata? Alpha. Okay, maybe it's in E. This isn't super important, but like, no. Protection. Rules, history, and best cards. Okay, that might be interesting. What is this? It's a 1/1. Black Knight. No. As a protection evolved. Huh. I don't know. No blocks? I thought for sure it was printed before they had the concept of protection, but maybe not. Oh, maybe I could have attacked with this, I guess. What a weird card to be running in red-green, by the way. But I don't think I want to make this trade. I guess red-green has a fair number of humans. They're human werewolves. Do Nightbound cards enter the battlefield on their... They enter on their back face, right? So they won't be humans if you play a werewolf at night. I'm fairly... So this shouldn't go off, I think. MTG... Daybound. What does Daybound mean? They are face-up. Okay... They're found on opposite faces. It enters the battlefield transformed. Yeah, okay. So this would never see it as a human if you played a werewolf at night. Still happy to be drawing lands. I think I'm just bleeding something dry soon. Although, I don't know. They don't have anything I want to bleed dry right now. I could attack with the 2/1 and bring it back with Edgar, I guess? That's kind of funny. Or I could even First Strike with it. I don't mind this trade. Okay, so we have to tap carefully. We have to tap the red this time. Don't make the same mistake. know. 4 mana to draw a card, gain a life, kill a 1/1, and transform this. It's not that bad, but it's not amazing either. Okay, come on in. Ooh, okay, that's a good play. Or exciting, anyway. Would I block with a 3/3? To kill their 2/2? I don't think so. I guess just let him in for 8? Kind of bad, but... Okay, we're close to Olivia here. Her attendance, anyway. We attack with this, gaining a little life. I don't know. Maybe it was better to keep it back as a blocker so they don't lose as much life. I was thinking this can block their stuff, but it can only block one of them. On the other hand, I can like use it to kill one with first strike. The hell are you? Oh, that's pretty good. +1/+1 and trample. Oh boy. Okay. So I guess they're going to take the +1/+1 and trample effect. There's not much point me killing something first, I guess. It's a pretty strong card. Yep. I think I have to bleed dry the big ol' wolf while I can. I hate bleeding dry like a 2/2. But you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. And I can afford to attack with this, because these other two are already sufficient blockers. And Olivia can just, like, kill all their stuff. They really have to do something about her immediately. The attendance. It's not Olivia, I know. But it's easier to say Olivia than attendance. Even though they're both 3 syllables. Ooh. Draw a card? No. Bigger creatures. Wow. Okay, we're under some pressure here. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked? I don't know. I didn't know this was going to turn into a 6/4. But if I had this back, I could have blocked with both of these, and I think that would have been a good trade. I think I have to let in the 6. Parasitic Grasp is beautiful. I think I kill the 2/2 that gets bigger rather than killing this 2/3 that's daybound. Even though, like, when I have a moment, Olivia can just kill this if I spend a whole turn on it. But right now I can't do that because I need like time. I can't allow it to become night while this is still on the board, right? So I think I have to kill this. Zap this guy. Play that so I have first strike available. And then attack with... these? Threatening lethal? So they have to chump? That's good enough, I think. They're tapped out, so this wins. Make me 9 blood tokens, please. Yeah, Attendance is a good card. Oh, 4-1's good so far. Gosh, another one of these, huh? At least I have a 2-drop this time. I'm keeping it again. I choose not to be punished like I was last time. That's my choice. My game, my choice. Don't you dare take this away from me, Arena. Okay, not punished. I mean, I could still be punished by drawing a bunch of red cards and no mountains or something, but at least I have a pretty solid black curve. Okay, pretty good. So what's the plan here? I could have... oh no, well... I could attack with the 2-1. Discard, say, Lacerate Flesh. Assuming they trade and kill this. To gain life, and then play Courier Bat to bring this back. But I couldn't immediately play it and flip it like I could when I used Edgar's Awakening. I think it's better to just, like, run this out, right? A 1-3? Maybe I just attack with both. So that I get in some damage, and if they block, I try that other play. But if they don't block, then I play this. That seems interesting. Okay, cool. Actually, I guess that was neutral. I dealt 2 damage, they healed for 2, and I tapped both of my creatures, so not that amazing. And it means now they can attack and gain more life if they want. So, okay, I attacked giving them life. I forgot about, like... I forgot they could do this. I thought they would block the 2-1 or nothing, but that makes no sense. Yikes! Would Sure Strike be the end of the world? I think it kind of would. I'm gonna let them do a little damage. Okay. It didn't even pause to give them a chance, so they probably don't have it. This is the kind of spot where I think you should like put a stop in combat so that you can like bluff having it. Because telling me you don't is kind of important to me. I'm just gonna run out of 3-3. And attack with everything, I think. since we know they don't have any combat tricks in hand. Or none that they could play for 2 mana anyway. I'll happily try to block like this. Oh, Gargantua, huh? I will still block. The Socialite's good, but I'm happy to trade it for a 4/3 lifelink. Ah, hang on. That also turns off this guy, but I can't let them keep gaining 3 life every turn, right? Can I? No, not really. Where's my life gain at? Or my lands? Get rid of... Gosh. Lacerate Flesh is so good when I draw another... I think it's better than, like, the Celebrants at the moment. But maybe this is even worse. I'm playing the bat, obviously, and like fishing back up something. I don't know what I'm fishing back up, but I guess it's going to be a Ragged Recluse, because that's the only thing I can play this turn. Depends. Maybe I draw a land. No. Okay. Oh, I can't play it this turn anyway. What am I thinking? I guess the Recluse, so that if I hit another land, I can play it together with a Gluttonous Guest. Good. Now we can lacerate ya. Close game. Okay, they don't sack anything, right? Yeah. Beautiful. I think we are just playing Olivia's Attendants, right? I mean, like, what if they have Bleed Dry, though? Or something. Which they easily could. I could play a little bit more conservatively by instead just playing both of these and then being ready to triple block their 5/4. I think I'll do that. That's my third one, right? It's already 2 in the graveyard? No. This is the one that was in the graveyard, right. Okay. Sure. If I triple block and they have some, like, removal spell, I'll lose, like, all 3 of those creatures. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I want to use this yet. I think you should have attacked first and then done that, so that I might be tricked into double blocking you. As it is, I'm probably just going to throw away a 1/4 here. Yeah. Your 5/4 is doing a good job. Good work. Wow, okay. Good thing I still can keep Olivia. Are they going to do it? Maybe not. Maybe they just want a 2-2. Alright, that's fine. I think it's still better to flip this and get a 4/4 than it is to play the attendance. And I'll keep attacking with the flyer. Now my 3/3 blocks their ghoul easily, and my 4/4 trades for their 5/4. That's fine. I'm lucky they didn't draw it in the other order. They would have ghouled me. I accept. Double block in case of removal? No, that's silly. Then I would just lose this if they removed it. Fine. Great. Stupendous. Amazing. This is great also. Because now if they kill Olivia's attendance with something other than bleed dry, I can get it back. Using this for life gain. Was it Odious Witch or something? Yes, that's what it's called. I think, yeah, technically you can read that up here, but it's printed pretty small. What the hell? What the hell? Lacerate Flesh or something? What would compel you to attack with a 2/2 into this? But not the 1/1. It must be some way to do exactly 4 damage. I'm blocking with the 3/3. I mean, I don't know. I could just let the damage in, I guess. Yeah, because the 3/3 is pretty valuable as well, isn't it? Yeah. Right. No blocks. They don't seem to have anything. They're going to exploit it, I guess, and they just wanted to get the attack in and see if I was tricked into not blocking. That makes some sense. But then they would be exploiting the skeleton instead, right? No, it was Lacerate Flesh. Right, that's a sorcery, is why they couldn't do it as quickly as all that. Okay, so... This is lethal, right? Just shoot him in the face twice and then swing? Even once is enough? I wonder, just out of curiosity, not that it matters at all, why it does that, why it even does the creature dying animation before declaring game over, right? Because what happens, the way that the rules of Magic say that you lose the game is a state-based action, right? It's something that happens every time a player would gain priority. The game rules check for a bunch of situations. And if any of those situations occur, then there's something that they trigger something to happen. And that thing typically doesn't go on the stack. It just happens. That's what causes creatures to die when they have lethal damage marked on them. You know, damage is applied, and then you have a 3-0, and the game says, wait a minute, before I give anyone priority, let me check if there are any creatures that should die. And it finds out there are some, and it says, oh, put them in the graveyard. And the same thing applies for life. If your life is at 0 or less, you lose the game. as a state-based action. So why, I wonder, does Arena animate the creature dying before it animates the player losing? Is creatures dying earlier than losing the game in the state-based actions list? That would explain this behavior, but I also don't know why that would be. Like, isn't losing the game the single most obvious thing that could happen as a state-based action? And I don't see how any state-based action could cause you to gain life to prevent this. Because it would have to go as I don't know. I'm going to, like, look that up after this set, I guess. Are we at 5? We're at 6 now, right? Is it just 5? And 1 loss, I remember that. Five. Okay. So here's our chance to do better than break even. Win one of the next 2 games, preferably 2 of the next 2, or at least 2 of the next 3. MTG state-based actions. What is the list of state-based actions? Description, rules, state-based actions. When they would gain priority, state-based actions are performed. The game checks for any of the listed conditions for state-based actions, then performs all applicable state-based actions simultaneously as a single event. So, yeah, the very first one is a player with 0 or less life loses the game. And then if you tried to draw a card with an empty library, you lose the game, and so on. Lots of things that cause you to lose the game. But the point is, yeah, if a creature has toughness 0 or less, the creature of toughness greater than 0 with damage marked on it, and the total damage marked is greater than or equal to toughness, it's been dealt lethal damage and destroyed. So, yes, both of those things happen at the same time. And Arena chooses to automate, to animate them in this particular way, which, sure, whatever. I guess normally it shows your creatures dying at the same time you die, but when something is playable from your graveyard, it plays a different animation, which goes first or something? I don't know. Anyway, opponent mulligan to 6, which is cool. I could have played the second swamp instead to not like give away that I have a red or a playable instant, but I thought I might want like a mountain down by this turn for some reason or other. I don't think there's any draw where it could have mattered, but maybe there is. I'm playing this first, even though a bat would like block them, because I don't know. Actually, maybe it's bad. They might actually sack creatures to this. They might not want a 1/1 as much as they want a thing that can give a creature flying. So this might be a desirable effect for them. We'll see. Blue-red. Who the hell are you? Oh, that's pretty good. I don't like that. Do I attack here? No, that sucks. Well, I mean, I could attack if I were willing to block their 2/4 with my 1/3 next turn, but I'm not really, right? If they have any combat trick that blows me out, and I don't want that to happen, I'm not gonna like take that. Yeah. Obviously, like the brain dead play is for them to like block here, but I might have Sure Strike or something, and in fact I do. Maybe that's the reason it would have been worth attacking, is that they might let me Sure Strike them. What the hell is this? Okay. I thought this was the Joseph thing. This isn't as bad, I think. Sacking the 1/1, right? Yeah. Okay. Pass? Attack with a 1/4? Attack with both? Having Sure Strike as a plan? No, because then they just get even more damage against me. That doesn't make much sense. What if I attacked with just the 1/4? That might be okay. And I have to get a bat out there so that I can give it Sure Strike later when they come in with their flyer. Their X5 flyer, by the way. At least I get to see what they're drawing. And hey, it was 2 lands, so they can't like use the ability to play both of them. That's kind of the best thing that could happen to me. It's still kind of bad that they're drawing so fast. What? There was a creature card in their graveyard? How did that get there? Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Oh, this is a zombie, so it has flying. Yikes. Oh, maybe I didn't have to get that out because this is going to become a flyer soon. Yeah, that's true. Attack with the 5/3 and the 2/2 with the plan to like Vampire Bat the card back. Right. This was in their graveyard, but it was animated as being in their hand. Which is part of what got me a little confused. Okay, so I could Sure Strike. But I think instead, I'm just gonna like... Oh, hang on. If I discard this, I guess I can bring this back without using the Vampire Bat's ability. But I won't, and then I can still play this. Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. So I'm just gonna let it die. Red for the blood token, discarding this guy. This is the 3rd time I've made this play. And it's still great. That was the wrong card? I meant this one? Okay, well, let's do this then. Make use of the life gain while I can. That was just distracted talking to you guys, man. It's your fault. I would have gotten it right if it were just me. Celebrant and Island, great draws. This draws you a card, right? Yeah. I was just like thinking about the mana costs of these, and I thought forward to like how to play this, and then I clicked it. But it's not what I meant to. It was this one. Obviously. If I draw a land, I think I'm just lacerating this and going face for 4. Okay. Oh shit, it doesn't work. Oops. No, I didn't mean to say good game. I meant to say oops. They get this anyway. Whoops. I forgot they had that thing. Yeah, that was a terrible play. I should have like killed this if I was gonna do that. Practically playing face up here. Play one of these lands, right? Unless you already made the mistake of playing a land first? Surely not. Just so annoyed I missed that. They played a land... Oh, how? How did they make the mistake of playing a land before one of those two? Oh, because those two came from Chill of the Grave, not their natural draw. Okay, right. So they probably drew... Okay. And I can't bolt anything because they'll just sack it. Attack with all and see what happens. And if I give this first strike, they're just gonna turn this into a 4/4 flyer. I mean, that's not... Ugh. Maybe I should have... No, I couldn't have played this pre-combat. I think maybe play it pre-combat so that they don't... So that if they counterspell me, then they can't sack this. But that doesn't work because then I wouldn't have Sure Strike available. We're getting killed this game. Another Lacerate, although I think they'd probably rather play the Repository Scab. Maybe? Maybe not. Why are all these cards in exile? Oh, right. These... No. If you exile a card and then play it, it's no longer in exile. So that doesn't explain why. Because this one went to the graveyard, right? Why is one of them in the... Maybe they drew it and were unable to play... Oh, no. It was in exile because it was in, like, their quote-unquote hand. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna die real soon. Well, I can kill this. And gain life as well. Attack with the bats. And have this back to block their, like, 3/3. I think I wait until they attack. I also have Sure Strike available. Oh my god, an ill-tempered loner. Okay, gross. I mean, should I kill that instead? I don't think so. Oh, you tapped wrong, you idiot! You're supposed to pay double black for this. So they could Sure Strike. I'm mad at Arena. I mean, I'm mad at myself, but also Arena. I mean, I can get in for 7, actually. We're nearly there in terms of lethal damage. 8? Yeah. Maybe it was good not to... not to sure strike last turn. I can get back a Recluse if I want, or maybe better to take back the Traveler? I think the Recluse is better. So, play this. No, I can't because I won't have 1 mana left. Okay. Because I can pay 1 mana to use the blood token. But I can't pay the 1 mana to activate Ignor's Awakening. Bolt, that's something. Use it on a bat, sure. Makes sense. Ah, now they are face up. Binding Geist and Epicure. If they attack with the Loner, I think I triple block it. It lets them kill 1 of my creatures, but that's it? Or no, they can kill 2. Oh, well, if you're doing that, I'll triple block the 3/3 then. Then all you get to kill is the Epicure. Oh. No, but that's... oh, yeah, well, okay. It's a lot of damage, I guess. It looks like I might be dead? I'm not sure. No, hang on. I can bring back the Epicure, right? Swing for 5 in the air and play an Epicure. How much does that cost? 1, 2, 3, 5. Yes, I accept. And we know they're not going to do anything about it. Got them. I tap red and black specifically here. And then I tap black to discard... oh, it costs... yeah, 5 mana. That's what I have. To discard this. Paying black. To bring back an Epicure. To get him in the face. Close game, for sure. Very close to dying. Didn't die, though. And I maybe should have done the discarding before combat. I mean, it didn't matter because I had enough mana. But, like, discarding could have drawn me an option. I don't know. It was 100% guaranteed win. So, like, does it really matter? But It would have been in some sense safer to do the drawing before combat, because then I could potentially draw land, which could give me in mana in case I had miscounted how much mana I needed or how much I had. And I had miscounted how much I had. I knew I needed 5. I thought I had 6, and I didn't. But I had 5, so that was enough. Whew. Okay. Danish Mambo. The Mambo is the dance, not the snake, right? A Mamba is a snake. I know that's true, and I think it's also true that a Mambo is a dance. Right? Mambo number 5 being the most famous Mambo. That's a good hand, obviously. We get to curve out pretty well. We have a blood token to activate this guy before too long, and we can like kill their thing with a bolt at some point, maybe. And we have late game Olivia. As is so often the case, we need some filling in the middle. There's a lot of swamps. What does blue-black do in this set again? I'm suddenly forgetting. Exploit, right. Good card. Boo. How dare you. Guess I'm not going to kill their card. But okay, we can trade 1 damage each if you want. Or they could play like Lantern Bearer or something? No. Okay. Great draw. And now we have kind of a, you know, sort of smooth road to 6 mana. Not guaranteed or anything. Opponent's doing some slow stuff, but I have a 3/3 flyer now. I don't imagine they're sacking this. Chill of the Grave and a land. Okay, so they kept 2 fairly good spells. I think they wouldn't be so sad to keep Chill of the Grave. Really? That's a shocker. This is also an insane draw. You should have used the blood first, I think, assuming you're going to do that. I guess they were planning to ritual this, and I don't understand. We're just going to overwhelm them with threats, I guess. Okay. Sure, but aren't you, like, dead? Yeah. Well, if I kill the 3/2 with Bolt, then I only have 2 red, right? So I can't activate this and this twice and this once. But I have 10 damage on board, right? So I just kill this, hit him with Olivia's Attendants. They're just doing a shitload of stuff, but none of it does anything. I'm just gonna kill them now. Okay, that'll be game. Easy 7. Had that one loss, which I no longer remember. It's been blocked out of my memory. I genuinely have no idea what happened in that game. Oh no, that was the one where I kept 2 swamps. Yeah, I know why I don't remember what happened in that game. I didn't do a single thing. I took no actions. That helps make games unmemorable. But okay, nice. Happy to take just a little trophy here. Celebrate the winning deck. Red-black is pretty good. I feel like it's been forever since I saw this heirloom. Like game 2 or something? I know it was pretty good in game 1. I don't remember using it at all since then. Maybe once? Oh, yeah, the game that I lost, I drew this just in time to not be able to play it still. Didn't get this guy to do that much. He's still very good. Yeah. Courier Bats were great. Edgar's Awakening was great. The Falconrat Celebrants were... Sorry. The Lacerate Flesh was better than I expected. It was, like, fine. Nothing amazing, but... it served a purpose once or twice. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.